afternoon from wherever you're watching us from. This is the health and wellness spot, the sub branch, which we call Dr. Lewis. And this is Identity Fridays. I hope you can actually enjoy this. And we've decided to do this on the new platform because of several reasons. One, we don't want to mix health with the spiritual aspect of life, even though this one is actually the major part of health. But I hope you can actually get to enjoy this, and that this becomes our norm, that every Friday, our Identity Friday shows that fix the spiritual aspect of life shall move to Dr. Lewis on the YouTube. But on TikTok, we still remain on the same platform. We had advertised this earlier, and we told you that we will not roll these lives on the normal, the main channel on YouTube. So I hope you can actually understand that. So kindly, there are people who are not aware of that. Please assist us in sharing the live so that we can actually get interactive from the beginning. So thank you so much for taking your time to be here. It's Friday. For those of you who are fasting, we wish you the best. For those of you who did not join the prolonged fast, again, it's time for you to redeem yourself by just doing the fast, because fasting is not just a way of fixing your health, it also fixes your spiritual aspect of life. And therefore, it's very necessary that you do it. So welcome on board. As you join in, kindly let us know where you're joining us from. And if my sound is clear, people on YouTube, kindly just confirm by waving. And then we can start this. And then as you join in, be kind enough to like the live, because as you do that, it will help us reach more people. Also, you can actually comment, you can share your views, you can request to be in as a guest on TikTok so that you can actually roll this conversation. It is Identity Friday, and you know very well what we do on Identity Fridays. We fix the spiritual aspect of life. We help you overcome anger. We help you overcome those problems that are supposed to be fixed through spiritual aspects, rather than trying to solve these problems through medication. Because however much you visit those psychiatric clinics, nothing is going to change, because again, the real life is happening inside you, not outside you. So as you focus on the outside world, you're wasting time. Your focus should be on the inside world, which will change your life. I see someone from Kitengela, that is Kerubo Mary, welcome on board. 𝗬𝗑𝗏, I see you. So Ivy is also in the building from Mombasa. Welcome on board, each and every one of you. Imagine the topic of the night. I just want you to imagine. Just have a rough idea of what the topic is. If you're on YouTube, you've already seen it. Yeah? Keep the fire burning. Thank you so much. You can even imagine the topic of the day. It is Identity Fridays. We are not talking things, medical stuff and all that. No, we are relaxing. We are saying some of you are doing 2 on the road, and therefore we cannot deter you from doing the 2 on the road. We're just saying, as you take those 2 on the road, do not judge yourself, because you're not even responsible for that. There's a spirit that lives inside you that is actually controlling you to do what you're doing. No wonder it's becoming hard for you to actually come out of that den. Friends can be very, very confusing. Clara from Gong, I see you. Friends can really push the spirit of evil inside you. So therefore, you must know what to do and when to do it. But you cannot know what to do and what to know and what is right, basically. And I put that right in quotes. If at all you still allow the spirit of evil to live inside you. Remember, our only role. Somebody's asking, are you live on YouTube? Yes, I'm live on YouTube, but not on the main channel, Health and Wellness Spot. Find a channel that is called 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 Lewis. Hose with Dr. Lewis. HAWAS. That is where we are doing the Lives for Identity Fridays on. So please, if you're there, simply move to YouTube and just go and just check out that. That's the channel that we decided it will be only specific for Friday night shows. So our major role in life is to actually choose the spirit that lives in us. That's the only thing we do. Now remember this. Every child was born with love. Every child was born with love. Rose Nasuna, I see you from USA. I hope you're keeping safe. The fires are crazy. And I know there's a lot of stories that will come out of that. But I want you to actually make sure that you stay safe. We need you as an African daughter of ours. Do what you have to do to remain safe, okay? Good. Now, so as a child, you're born adequate. You're born without insecurities. You're born without all these fears and doubt. That's why you can stand on a table and just jump without worrying that you'll break your leg. And you're born with common sense. That's the most important part of this. That you're born with all other things, but common sense is the most important one. Common sense. So a child is born with common sense and all other things come in, they are taught. But this common sense is the one that guides you, and that is the spirit of good. So you're born with love. But along the way, the pressures of life, the pressure to want to achieve, to live in the future, sometimes to judge yourself for living in the past, the people around you, church, the mosque, the temple, schools, your workmates, all these pressures of life start shunning down the spirit of good as they teach you the spirit of evil. And now we suffer the consequences of actually derailing. Remember, all of us are on one path, the path that you're born with. So you must come back either way. So that path is the one that guides you. So you are supposed to follow that path. But all other things around you are the ones that distract you from this path. And now you start turning away from that path. That is basically you turning away from the truth, which is godly. Now, as you turn away from that path, understand, whether you like it or not, you will see trouble, you will see anger, you will have emotions, you will have fear, doubt, concern. You will be lonely until you find your bearing back to that path. That is what we do on Identity Fridays. We help you overcome all these false identities that people have actually imparted in your head, that have actually suppressed the spirit of light. And now you've delayed yourself from your path. You've gone into a fallen state. Now, for you to come out of that fallen state, one, you must hit the rock bottom. So therefore, some of the rock bottoms that you people keep on hitting, they are very necessary, because those are the moments that will actually bring you back to your reality. So when you are at the rock bottom, stop complaining, endure the pain. Stop coming on TikTok and crying, oh, you know, I'm at the rock bottom. It's none of our business. You hit the rock bottom alone. You have to come out alone. So stop coming on live to cry to us, oh, you know what, I'm suffering, oh, you know this, and we don't care. We will actually judge you, because 99.9% of human beings are just evil. So therefore they will judge you. They will come here and pretend, oh, you know what, she's feeling so bad. But we will be there judging you seriously. And we know why we are judging you, because we want to judge you, because inside us, we don't have control. There's a spirit that is actually controlling us. So most of the times when you see somebody getting angry, somebody trying to respond to things, somebody trying to pick sides and create a judgment and have an opinion about everything in life, understand that they are not responsible for what they are doing. It is the spirit that they have allowed to live inside them. On that note, allow me to just give you a recap of how things have been this week. The latest of these stories being the story that we just saw. People who are in Kenya understand this better. There's this story that was trending on X. The story of this lady attacking the guy just because the guy confronted her over a cheating issue. And I noted a few things here. And I realized that this story has actually made us, again, get to a point where we have to pick sides. Okay, you have to pick sides. Which one is the better one? Which one is actually more suffering? So we think we are so good to actually judge the two and pick one side that looks good and relates with us. Is that not evil? So this is the point. So I saw this story and I just went deeper into it. I just wanted to see how far this story goes. Normally I'm very slow at reacting to these things, and anything that comes into the media or on social media, I am very slow at reacting to it, because until I see both sides of the stories, I hardly make an opinion of it, because I don't have to make an opinion anyway. So what happened is this. This lady was drinking and dancing, and the mood was there, okay? Until all of them got high, and the spirit of evil now came in and reminded this gentleman, you know what? You're looking at this wife of yours shaking her behind here in front of children. Look at that evil nature. Just dancing aimlessly and singing to these songs that brainwash you, that condition these children. And you're putting the volume so high and dancing there, just disturbing neighbors, conditioning your children through music. Now this guy, the spirit of evil comes in and reminds him, you know what? This one who is actually shaking her behind here has been cheating on you. There's somebody who has actually been chewing her seriously. This guy's like, yeah. And you know, alcohol makes men women. Alcohol gets men into the mood of estrogen, emotions and all that. So this guy was like, yeah. I have been having this woman for the longest time, but I can actually see her now, and I'm just seeing another man having her. I've taken care of this woman for this long, but there's another man. This guy decided, you know what? So the devil was controlling him. So just told him, you know what? Just, please say it out. You can't hold anymore. You're not a coward. Speak it out. This guy decides, you know what? Kwa nini iko nini? Decides to say, I know you've been cheating on me. What is happening? And then, now he realizes, I married a beast. How the lady just wakes up, and there's chaos everywhere. And the lady takes the knife, is busy chopping him up and all that. And the weak guy is there with a cushion, a seat cushion, trying to protect himself. Oh, I cannot do anything because the cameras are here. Oh, you know what? I'm like, the evidence is already there. So why are you still weak? Huh? I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, you might want to agree with me or not. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you this for free. The reason why women are misbehaving is because we have a lot of weak men. And actually, most of the marriages are boys married. They don't even understand marrying. They are married. These are boys who are actually married. So a lot of marriages out here, people are just suffering in silence. Whatever happens behind the cameras, including your celebrities, whatever is happening behind the cameras, he is crazy. They will paint an image of this celebrity couple that is actually even winning endorsements. They are putting gender reveal, and then a baby face reveal, and then they get endorsements from these diaper companies. Open YouTube and Instagram pages for their babies, and the baby is already at 20,000 subscribers and 20,000 followers on Instagram without even showing the face. And you people are so evil. You are so cunning because you will follow them and lie to them. Only that you're lying to them, hoping that one day they get to mess so that you actually come for them. I know. You're waiting for somebody to sleep so that you can actually take advantage to exercise your evil nature. And you're dying from your evil nature. But you claim, you know what? I am a Muslim. Oh, you know what? I am a Christian. Oh, you know what? I am an atheist. So you even have an identity, a false identity that was put and imparted inside or in your head. So then now everybody is taking sides on this story. The masculinity coaches, the false masculinity coaches have picked up the story. And they are telling you know what? Women are the ones who actually instigate violence. Women are the ones who actually initiate violence. Those women who are actually killed in Airbnbs are the ones who are responsible. You can easily see from this video, the woman initiated the violence. The woman is the one with the knife. Those are the masculinity coaches. Because they want to stamp authority. They want to show you exactly what they've been talking about is actually coming to happen before your eyes. They're now the prophets of doom. And now the leaders of the Femi By the way, what happened to the money that was donated for femicide movement? What happened to that movement? I told you, this femicide movement will not yield anything positive. It is a sponsorship, and we are the targets. They are playing with the emotions. Oh, you know what? The government is just trying to sponsor this. 100 million into a sponsorship of the femicide movement. And then what happened? What came out of it? People just put on t-shirts and shouted on the streets, and it's gone. And then you're thinking that billion that was stolen in Kwale, in the dam that was supposed to be built by the government, is the type of corruption that you need to address. You're forgetting that this one is actually a type of corruption. Imagine that. We are so shallow that we don't even see the bigger picture. So what happened to that movement? Is there anything now that is actually substantial that you can actually say, you know what, that movement has actually yielded this? Are there any mechanisms that have been put in place to actually prevent anything? Hello? Are there crickets from where you are, from the back bench? Oh, so you want to make us so emotional to just put on t-shirts and go and say, oh, end femicide, end femicide. So now, the feminists are so silent about this story. Nobody is saying anything. Because the man was attacked and it's so evident in the video. So feminists are now silent. Now the masculinity coaches are the ones that they look like they are winning this one. Until a woman is killed and the feminists will come up. Oh, you know, men are killing women. This is femicide. I'm telling you this for free. And take it from me. This is not a war between men and women. It is not. It is a spiritual battle, and it has to be won through a spiritual aspect of life. It is nothing to do with men and women. Oh, femicide is men killing women. It is nothing to do with men killing women. It's just the war between what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is evil. A spiritual battle. Rape cases that you're seeing. A whole man raping a child. And you're wondering what is happening. It is a spiritual battle, and it has to be overcome. Now, That is what has been going on. I saw it yesterday, and I've tried to go through it today. I just saw it trending, and everybody's picking sides. So you've actually been conditioned to pick sides in every story. You must have an opinion, and then create a judgment, and now pick a side. That is where you go wrong, because that is where you become so much evil. You exercise your evil nature. And I was having a conversation with somebody today, and I asked this lady, "Are you a Christian?" And she said, "Yes, I am a Christian, a devoted Christian." I told her, "Do you know God, or do you know about God?" He said, "I know God is my personal savior." I'm like, what do you know about God? Or what do you know? If you know God, who is God? Or what is your view about God? And then she started spitting all these ideas. God is my savior. God is... Hey, I'm like, okay, keep going. I'm just listening. And then I told her, if you actually knew God, how is it possible that you still have insecurities? Because this conversation began was all insecurities and all that. So I was like, if you know God, how is it possible that you still have all these insecurities? How is it possible that you are still so afraid of some things, afraid of failure, afraid of the future? You care about the future that you don't even have. How is it possible that you're still chasing a career all through? I'm not saying working is bad, but why are you still chasing a career which is full of intellect? Where is the common sense? And then I asked her, how did you get to know about God? Or how did you get to know God? Then the answers start coming in. Oh, through the scripture. Oh, through the priest. Oh, I'm a church person and all these things. I'm like, every single one of us is born with God. You're born with the scripture. You're born with the kingdom of heaven inside your heart. So then why do you allow that to die just because somebody else imparted their views in your head? Just because I've studied theology does not mean I have to dictate who God is to you. And by the time you simply have an idea of who God is, that is the time you totally lost the real case about God. That's when you don't actually know God. Because having an idea of who God is means you're actually remodeling God into your own image. Now you'll want God to actually behave to please you in a way that pleases you. So you'll think, just because you read the Bible and you go to church, you're doing the right thing, therefore you deserve the best things. How is it possible that you've been doing all these things, but you're still miserable? You're still lonely. How is it making sense? Kwani huyu Mungu wako ni mgani? This God of yours who actually says in Colossians 2:10 that he who is the head of this power and the spirituality makes you complete. How then does the same person who makes you, or the same spirit that makes you complete, get you into fear, get you into insecurities, overthinking, doubt, depression, and all these things? It doesn't make sense to me. And then this leads us to the topic of the day. Do parents succeed? Do parents actually push success through their children? Like, are parents trying to succeed through their children? Topic of the day. You've heard of toxic parents, you've heard of toxic siblings, toxic children. What are these names? What are these things? What are these labels? Are they not just the labels of evil, just demons from the house of evil being labeled different names? So most parents are actually trying to succeed through their children. Yes, and some of you are there watching this live with your children. I'll tell this straight to your face. You maybe wanted to be a doctor and you settled for nursing. Maybe your grades did not get you to a place where you could have actually been a doctor. Then you ended up settling for nursing. Maybe your parents did not have the money to take you to a nursing school, to a medical school. Therefore, you settled for nursing or nutrition or whatever course it is. And you did not achieve your own goals. And now you have children. Because you did not achieve that goal of being a doctor, you want your children to actually become doctors. You want one of your children, possibly your favorite child, to become a doctor so that you can actually get the massage of ego from the society. So they can actually tell you know what, oh, this family has a doctor, and you feel good about yourself. So you're actually pushing your children to conform to your ego. No wonder we are raising drug addicts. No wonder we are raising alcoholics. No wonder we are raising addicts to porn and masturbation, sex addicts. Because all we are doing to these children is trying to remodel them into our own image. And then these children start to resent us because they had their own identities. But because we try to model them in our own image, these children start to resent us without even knowing. Because all of them, they fall from their path of righteousness. They get into the fallen state. And because they are in the dark, they cannot see evil. They cannot actually relate with anything good. They simply relate with what is evil. So therefore, they don't even know they are resenting you. This is one of the reasons why most of you, when I tell you you've been resenting your parents and you need to apologize, you start telling me, I have not been resenting my parents. And then I understand you. I don't judge you because I know you're speaking from the fallen state. So we know very well that most parents try to remodel their children into their mini images, instead of acting as a guide, because before you act as that guide, you must know God. Therefore, you must overcome anger. You must overcome the spirit of your fathers and your mothers, your weak fathers and your angry mothers, so that you get to see the bigger picture. And you move from the fallen state back to your path of righteousness. And once you're on that path, God will reveal to you on the things or how to raise your children. But before that, you will raise children in the best way that you know, which is in the fallen state. So all that you'll be imparting in your children is the fallen state, is the lack of identities, the false identities. These children will end up adapting your false identity, and they will suffer. These children will suffer. They will have insecurities just like you. They will have anger just like you. You try to imagine this way. How is it possible that you are leading a healthy life, you're leading a satisfactory life, you know God, but you have anger? How can anger and love sit in the same room? They can't. Because anger is the nature of evil, and any human that is angry, that has anger, is not worth to be trusted. You cannot trust an angry person. A person who has anger can never be trusted, because all he's thinking is him or her. All he's thinking is how to destroy others so that he can actually feel better, to satisfy his false ego. And again, that ego is not his problem. It's the spirit that lives inside him. And this spirit is actually taught. Look at it this way. You were born a very happy and bubbly child. You had an identity. You had the spirit of good. You did not know evil. And then as you started growing up, whoever was raising you up was imparting their will in you, was imparting their identities in you, was modeling you into this person that they thought was the best version of you. They wanted you to be this type of person. But you see, as they wanted you to be this type of person, they were actually remodeling you into their own image, because they were trying to make you avoid the mistakes that they have done. But I want you to see the bigger picture. If I raise my child to avoid the mistakes that I've done, one, I've tried to remodel this child into my own image. That is false, because I've imparted my false identity in the child. I've suppressed my child's identity. That is one. Number two, I have dimmed the light of God in this child, and I've started pushing what I know in this child. I've started teaching this child evil. I tell this child, this is not good, do this. I've tried to change the minds of the set of this child. I've tried to suppress the common sense and imparted intellect in this child. And then I take this child to church. The pastor and the priests, they impart their false identity in the child, because most priests are angry. Most prophets are false. Most pastors are angry. Most sheikhs and imams are angry. They have a spirit of anger inside of them. But they're the same people who are actually trying to model our children into an image that we think that they know better. Now, nobody knows God better than you as an individual, because you are born with God inside you. You are born with the spirit, the kingdom of heaven inside you. But somebody somewhere tries to make you believe there's a heaven up here. Yet the kingdom of heaven is in the scriptures, and the scriptures say it is in your heart. It is inside you. It is within, not without. But look at you, looking at the heavens as you pray. Oh, you know what? God is in heaven. Which heaven that is not in your heart? So now you remodel these children into your own image, and as they grow up turning themselves away from the spirit of light. They turn themselves away from God. And then they go into the fallen state. They start actually pleasing their father, the devil. And until these children get to actually forgive you, to overcome you and come back to the path, because that is what we say, repentance. You forgive, you overcome, and you come back to the path that was destined for you. Until that happens, all you have is intellect and zero common sense. Intellect and zero common sense. And all you now have is ego. This is one of the reasons why children think their fathers are better than other children's fathers. This is why children think that home are witches. This child was not born knowing that home has witches. It is the spirit in the father and in the mother that actually control this child to know that home is full of witches. Therefore, I should avoid those people. And look at you conditioning your children in that direction, and then telling us you're a Christian, telling us you're a practicing Muslim. telling us that you know God. How can you know God and hate people? And then you're wondering, how is it possible that my family is full of people who are depressed? My children are depressed. And then you push your children into medical schools to actually succeed on your behalf. And these children, they scored very low. Some of them just read, and where they read is what come in the paper, and they passed. Some of them stole exams. I've seen these just cases that has just come out. Students who are using phones, they even pay off the invigilators so that they can be allowed to use a phone in the exam rooms. So this guy is totally empty, zero, nothing in the head. And now they are here because you want to succeed through them. And it's so annoying that you will see a parent paying off an invigilator so that the son or the daughter gets into an exam room with a phone. And then the same parent will be on the front line waiting for results to come in, and she's so nervous or he's so nervous. And then when the results come out and the son or daughter has passed, they're the first one to actually celebrate. How hypocritical are we? They are posting everywhere on WhatsApp. We are seeing, oh, congratulations, you've made us proud. Who made you proud? The phone. You should actually be posting the phone, not your son. Yeah? So you are there pretending, oh, you know what, kijana yetu, you're raising, you're carrying these children up and singing. I'm like, hi. Yeah? The same parent who went on her knees or on his knees to pray for the son doing an exam, after standing up on his knees, he gives the son a phone to go and do an exam. Same parent who was praying to the father, the devil. We pray from our heads, praying from the devil to the devil. And then we still do the opposite of what we actually prayed for. So you pray that this son of yours remembers everything that he has actually read, and then go ahead and give him a phone. Raising Gen Zs, right? You give them a phone. They go into an exam room, they use a phone, and then when they come out, you pray that they get to pass this exam. Actually, you remain praying that they don't get caught with the phone. But you've paid off an invigilator. Then this son passes this exam because he did not pass. It's the phone that passed the exam. And you're there celebrating and showing us your ego. Oh, you know what, my son put in the nights. My son transnighted. My son, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Your son did not transnight. Your son was hoping that your phone will not go off during an exam. And now these are the same sons that are coming out here to become doctors. And you're wondering why your doctor is so emotional. You're wondering why the same doctor who is supposed to treat people is fat. He's diabetic and hypertensive. You're wondering how is this happening? You're wondering why he's so stuck in the syllabus. He can't even think on for himself. He's stuck in the guidelines. You started it. So you want to succeed through your children, and you push them to do things that you did not succeed to do. And now these children get into the campus, and now they have a little freedom. All they do is smoke weed Monday to Monday. Party Monday to Monday. They are doing medicine, but they're the ones who are the first in the clubs. They get into a club at 8, they leave the club at 3. And tomorrow they have a cut. How are they going to pass? How are they going to understand the concepts? So we push our children to become just a mini image of us, and we want to succeed through these children, and that is a mess. We impart our false identities in these children, and these children suffer all their lives. Therefore, these children will have to forgive you to overcome your spirit, because it's an evil spirit. And every time I tell you, you must forgive your parents. Please, forgive. Forgive. You must forgive your parents. They are the first people who imparted the false identities in you. So therefore, you must forgive them, whether you like it or not. For you to have a successful life, for you to actually know God, you must come back to the path. And coming back to that path means you have to forgive the people that you resent, whether knowingly or unknowingly. Now, most of you will think, I need to forgive those who raped me, or I need to forgive those who molested me. Yes, you do, because you need to overcome their spirit. But these parents who raised you to actually see what is good and what is evil, yet they did not have the Spirit of God inside them. They did not understand anything, because they did not forgive their parents. They did not overcome their parents. So they taught you the wrong way of life. The pastor cemented the lie. School cemented the lie even further. And now you're suffering, you're thinking you're depressed. You're wondering, why don't I have a job? And you're depressed because you don't have a job, as if you cannot create one. And you're thinking now, look at it this way. Now you're depressed. Now you get depressed, you're busy drawing tattoos and exposing pain through your skin. And then you want to defend that by telling us, you know what, these tattoos that I've just drawn here, this is art. I enjoy art on my body. Who enjoys pain? And most ladies know. The only pain that ladies can actually endure, they go through it and they want to do it again, is giving birth, childbirth. But a pain of drawing tattoos, ladies don't like pain. They don't. So we express our insecurities through pain. And we draw these tattoos on our skin. And as I see those tattoos, I'm thinking, oh, is there a problem? Look at boys drawing tattoos all over. You can't even tell if they're wearing a t-shirt or not. Expressing pain, everything. It becomes addictive. So they are addicted to things that actually of the evil nature. They don't know. They were taught evil by their parents. So they think this is the right thing to do. And look at some of them cross-dressing. And who is cheering them? Their mothers. We know of the cross-dresser whose mother is the one who actually sponsors the clothes. From the time he started this nonsense, the mother was the one who was buying the clothes. So you're suffering from traumas that you actually accumulated from back then, from your mother's false identity. You have to overcome your mother. You have to reunite with the spirit of your father, because fathers, biological fathers, are the earthly representation of God to children. But the weird part is, fathers are so weak. Our fathers were very weak and they were dominated by women. They were afraid to tell our mothers the truth because they were afraid they will lose them. And look at you. You are afraid of losing a woman. That's why you cannot correct your woman. You see that? So and then we call it generational curse. It is not a generational curse. It's the spirit of evil. Let's label it as so. So you get into this campus, your mother or your father wanted you to become a doctor. Now you're here with your A, a false A. You're here, even simple concepts of chemistry you cannot contemplate. Simple biochemistry is becoming a serious problem to you, and now you revert to drugs. Now it's all lies. You lie to your father and your father sends you money, your mother sends you money, and you use that money on women. Sex is now an addiction to you. Drugs are an addiction to you. You can't even concentrate. You're chasing different thrills. You're thinking sex will make you complete. You get this woman, you have sex with them, you want another one. You think clubbing and alcohol will make you complete. You afford the best alcohol because your father is rich. He's a politician. He's stealing money from people and sending you money to buy alcohol and buy cocaine. You're using these things, you're not satisfied. You still have an empty hole inside you. A course that is supposed to take 5 years now has to take 10 years. And now you're the same people who are constantly, when exams are coming in, because of the insecurities that are inside you, you are busy striking. You've seen what happens in Maseno University. Every single time exams are coming in, they are striking. You've seen how universities behave. Every single time an exam is coming in, they are striking. And you're thinking, okay, these guys, maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because there's nothing like school fees. They are striking because inside them, they are empty. They are chasing a thrill. They are hollow. And they tap this from their parents. Now, because they have to actually push this anger somewhere else. They resent their parents, but they don't know. So they can't push their anger to their parents. So what do? As that strike comes in, it helps them exercise their evil nature. So what do? They'll take those stones and hit other people's cars so that they can feel better. They think by hitting somebody's car, they will feel better. They hit somebody's car and they're still empty. They're still empty. And these are the doctors that are coming out. These are the teachers that are coming out to teach more children and condition more children. So now they are different, right? Because in campus they threw stones, but now they want to tell your children not to throw stones. But they have never forgiven whoever they resented from inside them. So whatever they are teaching is just evil. But they are thinking, you know what? That was just a stage. I went through that stage. I remember when I was in when I was in high school, I was told to concentrate on books. I was all over. I was literally everywhere. I was everywhere. And I was told, you know what? These girls that you're chasing every time, please. That time I was in 𝗦𝗨𝗖𝗖𝗘𝗘𝗗, please. And there's these teachers who are called TPs, the teachers on practice, right? They used to tell us, when you get to campus, you will have all the freedom. Actually, just pass your exam. You will see how women will flock to you. All these girls will be flocking to you. And now right now I can see the bigger picture. I'm thinking, why did they push me to pass an exam so that I can actually attract women? Do you see how crazy it is? Like, you know what? When you get to campus, there will be a lot of women. When you focus on yourself, you will attract a lot of women. You will be spoiled of choices. And then I'm like, why would I work so hard just to attract women? Now looking at it, I'm thinking, why do we tell that to high school boys? That you just work hard, don't chase girls now. You know what? At the end of the process, girls will be chasing you. The other side, you're telling girls the same thing. You know what? Just work hard, concentrate now. Don't. You're even telling them to abort. If they get a pregnancy, they should abort until the right time comes. So you're actually encouraging them to have sex unprotectedly, and they can actually go ahead and commit a crime by just killing babies. So don't worry, right now, at least just protect yourself. And then when you get to campus, every boy will be chasing you, because now and when you get a career, when you're now settled and all these things, now men will respect you. Shock on you. Ladies, shock on you. And I'll tell you this. If you want to feel guilty, if you want to feel bad about it, no problem. I will tell you this. That did you know men are incapable of respecting women? Did you know that? Men will only respect men, their fellow men, who are above them in status. Take it to the bank. So as you come in and tell us, I want a man who will respect me, who You want a man who will respect you. They will act as though they are respecting you. They are incapable of respecting women. Men can only respect men who are above them, fellow men who are above them in social standards, men who have connections, men who have finances, and they have influence. Now, if you have those three as a woman, you stopped being a woman, you became a man, because those are masculine roles. You'll tell me, what if I have achieved all those? No, the evil spirit is actually talking to you. Now start competing with men. Tell him that what he's saying, I have achieved all these things. You're seated there thinking that just because you achieved things in a masculine field, you're thinking now you can actually compete with men. There is no competition. The spirit of evil is actually controlling you. And we will tell it off, because we have to discern evil. We don't hate it, we discern evil. So I highly recommend, stay in your feminine core. Stay in your feminine core. And however you want to take that statement, that's up to you. However you want to interpret it, that's up to you. But the truth is, men are incapable of respecting women. So let me tell you, because somebody's already asking me, really? The truth is this: the order of God, or the nature of life, is God above men, men above women, and women above children. That is the order of God. Therefore, love flows from God to the man, man to the woman, and woman to the children. The other way around is impossible. So until a man knows God, he has no love. That is exactly the real image of our fathers. They did not know God. They did not have love. So how then did they know how to teach us how to love? That's why we are desperate. We are trying to seek love. We are trying to find love from people. Yet our only role is to serve God, and the rest shall be added unto us. So our fathers did not know God. They did not have love. They were in the fallen state. That's why they failed in correcting our mothers. They did not call out the evil nature in our mothers. They were afraid of women because they were afraid of the society. If I lose this marriage, how will the society view me? They were afraid. And fear is the nature of evil. So they had evil inside them. So how then would they be capable of actually showing these women the way when they are full of evil? They are full of fear. You cannot correct somebody. You cannot show a woman the way. You cannot guide a woman when you are afraid of her. You can't. And this is one of the reasons why I tell men, anytime you date a woman who is older than you, anytime you're dating or you've gotten married to a woman who is older than you, you have gone against nature. That is the truth. You've gone against nature. That is one. Number two, there is no way you can correct her. There is no way. You are afraid of her. That's why you're thinking, oh, I respect my woman. You don't respect her. You are afraid of her. Come out clean. Because, so one way is love flows from God to the man to the woman, from the woman to the children. So if the man does not know God, there's no love in that family. That's why there's all these divorces. That's why the children are messed up. They're drug addicts. They're sex addicts. They're confused because there's no love, there's no guidance, there's no role model, there's no father figure. Now the other way around is respect and submission. So therefore children cannot tell their parents, they cannot even love their parents. They don't know how to love their parents. They can respect their parents, but they cannot, or obey their parents, but they cannot know how to love their parents, because love flows from the father to the mother of the children, not the other way around. And that's why women, it is incapable. Women are incapable of loving men. Women can only submit and respect men. And if a woman loves a man, that becomes her son. Hello? If a woman loves a man, it is against nature. That means this man, this male that this woman loves has become the son. So if you get married to an older woman than you, that woman sees you as the son. So she's the one to guide you. So therefore, you hey, wacha tupoe kwanza. Pause and review. Now you start labeling, oh, toxic parents, oh, toxic partners, toxic relationships. Nothing is toxic. You are the one who attracted who you are. You did not fix yourself inside. You did not even have love, but you thought you loved people. That's why you kept on looking for love. And I want you to see this. I want you to see how empty men are, to an extent that they are looking for love in women. Imagine, God designed a man to love a woman, and then through that love, the woman will know how to raise children and love these children. But imagine, now, men are looking for love in women. Women don't have love for men. Women have love for children. The only unconditional love that comes from a woman is towards the children. That's why if anything happens, and that woman has to choose between the man and the children, she will choose the children. Unconditional love. But to the man, that love that women say, I love my man, is very conditional. It's because this man is doing something. That is respect. That is not love. You respect him because he's doing his roles. If a woman loves a man, it's against nature. It is true. Love is coming from God to the man, man to the woman, woman to the children. That's the order of life, whether you like it or not. Anything against that is evil. And if it is evil, it means you are resenting your fathers and your mothers. So you have to actually apologize to your fathers and your mothers to overcome their false identities. And now you can easily know God. And now you can actually have love to love your children if you're a woman. Therefore, you will not have love for the man. This love that you have for the man is the one that actually makes you provide for the man. 50-50. What is 50-50? And then you're saying you're a Christian. You don't even know that the role of a woman is to submit to the woman. And you're a Christian. Aye. So ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to bring in your questions. I hope you can actually come in to have this conversation. Let's talk about these things that you're calling toxic parents. Let's talk about this thing that you're saying, you know what, my parents succeeded through me. Some of you have done degrees that were for your parents. And then you dropped that degree and decided doing something else. Now you're in business. Your parent just pushed you because you got an A, and your parent wanted to be a doctor, and she did not, or he did not succeed. He pushed you into a university to go and do medicine. Oh, first semester you're there struggling. You can't even define biology. You don't even understand what anatomy is happening. What the hell is happening here? You're constantly sitting near the window. Why? Because you don't want anything to do with this class. Your ear is in the club. Your ear is somewhere partying, but your physical is here. You're performing very averagely and sometimes less than even average. And you're wondering, what is happening to me? It is not your fault. It's the fault of the person who imparted their false spirit in you. They taught you evil. And now you're suffering because you derailed yourself from the path of greatness. You went into the fallen state. Coming back, you must pay a price. And because men are always out, women are the ones who are raising these children in their younger ages. Women are the ones who actually impart most of their false identities in children. They want the children to be the mini them. They want their daughters to avoid mistakes that they did. Yet they say they are successful. So if they are successful and they went through mistakes, how then do they hold their daughters from going through the same mistake they did? Does that mean that that is false success? They have a wrong vision or a wrong mindset about success. Yes, of course, because they are still empty. They have the money, but they still feel empty. They are hollow. They are very hollow. So imagine how hypocritical it looks that your mother has molded you into who you are right now. She used to punish you for doing certain things, for maybe talking to boys, because she raised you as a single parent. So she understands that if she messes up, she will get pregnant. So if you mess up, you will get pregnant. So she doesn't want you to get pregnant and become a single parent the way she did. Unfortunately, you end up becoming a single parent even at a younger age than she did. Because you resent her for actually doing that, for remodeling you into her own image. And whatever you resent, you become. So you become just like your mother, full of anger. And now because she became a feminist, she taught you how to become a feminist. You thought you hated your mother, you became just like her. You attracted a weaker man who got you pregnant and ran away. And now you have to become a feminist just like her. Now all your social media platforms, you're just talking how men are dogs. But you attract who you are. So are you a dog also? Who is the dog? Because dogs attract dogs for mating, right? Where the evil spirit inside us makes us see things in a way that suits us, the way that massages our ego, and ego has to die. Ego has to die. Somebody says, ingine unatishoni jaba, that is Sue. Sue, I understand you. I can't even judge you, okay? You see, using the word jaba actually takes you to just the masses. You're part of the masses. That's why you actually relate with their phrases. So it's not your fault. It's the fault of the evil spirit inside you that actually makes you think that just because you want to retaliate, it actually tells you, text this, tell him this, make him feel bad because, I have to, because it's affecting you directly. What I'm saying is actually hitting you directly. That's why you find the need to defend yourself. And defending yourself is a sign of emptiness. So fix your mindset, fix your heart. You're empty from the head, you're empty from the heart. Fix it, Sue. And you can't fix your heart by coming and posting something on my platform, just talking nonsense on my platform. You can't. You have to fix yourself from within. You can't fix yourself from without. Thinking that you'll actually post something on my comment section and I feel bad about it. You're wasting time. We've done this for the longest period of time. You're wasting time, Sue. And what is Sue? Sue is not a name. A name is Susan, I guess, if that is your name. Now I know you'll get so angry. Why is he attacking me? I will unsubscribe. I mean, faster. This is not a home of kubembelezana. No, we have to tell you that we have to actually discern evil. We have to call it out. And because your father did not call it out, I have to do it because I know better. And I'm teaching you on how to actually overcome this anger, but you don't see it. You still find the need to come and defend yourself in the evil nature. So again, it's your problem. I highly recommend that you forgive your mother, you overcome her nature. Good, let's go on. Tufinye. Tufinye, ama tuwache. But Doc, is it wrong to guide my children not to do the mistake I did? Listen, wrong and right they will all depend on what is inside you, okay? So, they are just two spirits. You choose the spirit that lives in you. So if your mother chose the spirit that lives inside you, if your father was weak and your mother became angry at your father, and then she portrayed that anger towards you, she remodeled you into her own image, you became angry. When you have anger, you don't know love, you don't know God. Therefore, you cannot raise children in the right way. So when you're telling these children, you know what, don't do this because I did this and ended up having this. You're trying to remodel your children into your own image. You will suppress their identities and you will impose your identity in them. That is a false identity. Now they will suffer because of you. And until they face you and overcome you, they will always have anger, they will have insecurities, they will be full of ego. They will be so empty and inadequate. They will be lonely. So they'll constantly be seeking these things to make them feel complete. But as they get the love they are seeking because they are lonely, they're still lonely. As they get the money, they are still angry. So until they fix themselves by forgiving you and overcoming you, and this is the easiest way to fix yourself. Simply face your mothers and tell your mothers, you know what? I admit that I was wrong because I was angry at you. So I've been resenting you for no good reason and I apologize. That's how you do it. That's how you win the battle. You simply tell that to your mother. You overcome her. And then you face your father and tell your father, you know what? I am a human being and I've realized that along the way, I've been resenting you for no good reason. I was wrong, because you admit you are wrong for resenting your father. But you know very well that your father was a weak man, and that's why your mother became angry at him. And this anger was actually taught to you. This evil nature was taught to you. So how do you overcome it? You must overcome your mother by forgiving her and telling her. Do not go and tell her, you know what, I want you to forgive me. You tell her, you know, ego comes in handy here. You go to your mother and you want actually her to ask for forgiveness from you. That's a wrong idea. You actually go to her and admit the wrong, that I was wrong to resent you. Is not normal. It is unnatural for me to resent a human being. So you face your mothers and you overcome them by telling them I was wrong for resenting you and I apologize. And then move to your father and tell your father, you know what, I've been resenting you for the longest period of time, and I think it's time for me to overcome that. I apologize. Whatever they say is none of your business. Just understand that your father and your mother have no ability or capability to forgive you. God is the one that forgives. And even in the scripture, in the prayer, he says, forgive me as I forgive those who actually have done wrong against me. So you must forgive them for him to forgive you. So now you overcome your mother, you overcome your father, you get to fix your identity through reconnecting with the soul of your biological father. Because your biological father is your earthly representation of God. Once you reconnect, it doesn't mean you will pick his habits or his characters. No. You just reconnect with this spirit, and through that, you get your own identity back. Now you come from the fallen state into the righteous path. And now everything that will happen here will be a revelation from above. It will come through that identity, and you will easily know how to raise your children. Therefore, you will not even think that this is right or this is wrong. Because you not even have an idea. You will be guided by the spirit that lives inside you. So therefore, right and wrong are relative to the spirit that is actually inhabiting you, that lives inside you. Do you understand that? I hope you do understand that. So therefore, when you're thinking, oh, should I raise them in the right? Should I raise them to actually avoid the mistake that I did? That is you talking from the fallen state. You should not even push your children into that. What you should do is actually fix yourself, and then through fixing yourself, your children will be fixed. They are not your children, they are God's children. You are a caretaker, and your role is to guide them. And you cannot guide them without an identity. If you have the false identity, the identity of wrong, the anger, you will guide them towards the false identity, the wrong, the anger. If you have the identity of good, the love, the spirit of good will guide you on how to raise these children in love and how to know God. And these children will live a very complete life. They will not care about what is happening around them. Right now, we all care about what is happening around us. That's why we are so concerned about the society. That's why we are concerned about morals, values. What are morals? What are values? We are supposed to only follow the commandments. So morals, values, societal cues, what are these things? Those are just houses of evil labeled different names. And I read somewhere that we will judge a woman. Underline the word judge. Judgment is evil. We will judge a woman for dressing in a mini skirt. And this has to go to the women. Most women who dress in long skirts will judge a woman who is dressed in a short skirt. They will call that woman a slut. They say this one has no morals, showing off the thighs. You remember the story for Alicia? All women were there judging her. She was raised poorly. She has all these things. But these women who are dressed up in long dresses and long skirts, those long dresses and long skirts are actually pulled up by multiple men. So you're judging her for wearing a short skirt or a mini skirt, but your long dress is actually pulled up by every man. So who is the larger evil here? Ati amevaa mini skirt. Huyu ajui, mbona anatuonyesha mapaja? Anafanya wanaume wetu wanapotelea huko. But wewe umevaa long dress, you are in church and you are busy fantasizing with your priest, with the pastor, because he has some form of control. You're sleeping with your husband's friends. You're sleeping with your boss. And you're sleeping with that long dress. So your boss actually pulls up that long dress to actually access the cookie. Yeah? And you're there thinking, oh, women have a mini dress. The problem is you. The problem is you. Oh, this one has put on some tattoos. Tattoos are evil. By the time you're just thinking about evil, you have no idea of who God is. You've gotten it all wrong. Now you're thinking about those tattoos, and in the background, in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, Identity Fridays, always amazing to actually irritate you sometimes. So if you are irritated, well done. Just know that is not you. You are not responsible. Okay? When you get angry, when you get mad, when you feel lonely, when you feel inadequate, that is not you. Do not judge yourself for that. Do not create an opinion about it. Just understand that this is the spirit that lives in me and I have to overcome it. Because the spirit that lives inside us is the one that actually controls us. So therefore, you have no idea. You don't have to judge anybody. As Alicia was being judged for doing what she was doing, I was seated there thinking, why are people judging her? And yet they know. These people who call themselves Christians, they know that judgment is only supposed to be passed by God. These people who call themselves Muslims, these people who call themselves Hindus, why are they passing judgment and then they claim they know God? Yet they will sit there and read the scripture with the intellect and they tell us that judging is only supposed to be passed by God. And then now they are here, there are many God, right? Passing judgments and creating opinions. I'm like, where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? We are all thieves. Just our time has not come. We are thieves. It's just our time that is not right. Good. Yeah? Who bewitched us? Levy? I have no idea. Possibly our parents, because our fathers were so weak and our mothers became angry at our fathers. Now you can even see even the marriages right now. There's so much divorce. There are marriages that are actually suffering. People are suffering behind cameras. So once we see just one image, one video trending, we are busy there because we are finding solace there. I will tell you, all the men that have been abused by women were there in the comment section of that video. They were there trying to actually exercise their power. Women are this, women are, because they have suffered that fate. So they found solace. The devil just gave them a hug. Oh, come here, bro. You remember in 2017, your wife abused you with a cooking stick, including our speaker. You remember? The speaker ran to the police station to actually report that the wife has abused him. And then he finds the wife is there already. Where? What are we? Mheshimiwa, bibi asha report. Your wife has already reported this case here. You came in late. Pole bana, pole. But you have a black eye. Man, pole bana, pole bro, pole. And there's a way policemen are evil. They look at you and ask you these silly questions to just make a judgment of it. Yeah? So that they can know how to exploit you even further. This is a whole lawyer running. I was told, Mheshimiwa, if you came 1 hour earlier, maybe this case would have made sense. So how do we break the generational curses? Daisy, number one, it is not a generational curse. That is just a name, a soft name to quote the nature of evil. The truth is, you need to overcome the evil nature. Okay, for you to see the bigger picture, for you to see light, for you to get off the anger, which you can actually live without anger, you must overcome the false spirit that was put inside you by the one who was guiding you, your guardian, your father, your mother. Understand that your father was weak and your mother resented him and your mother became angry at him, and now this anger was lashed into you. You are taught how to become angry. You are taught how to hate your biological father with your mother's anger. So what do? You must overcome your mother. You simply face your mother and tell her, you know what, I've been wrong all through, I've resented you for no good reason, and I apologize. Once you say those words, they are very powerful, but it's very hard for you to say those words because the devil will know you want to run away from his kingdom. He will constantly pull you back. So once you say those words to your mother, do not care about how she reacts to it, because some of our mothers will become so emotional. They start crying, they start telling, I raised you, oh, blah, blah, blah. I was doing this single-handedly. That is an emotional move, and emotions are evil. They're coming from thoughts, and thoughts are evil. So what do? You simply listen, but not pay attention. Let them come in and go out. Give her some time to respond. Once she's done that, move. Don't even say any other word. Just move. Take some time and go face your father and tell your father, you know what? I have resented you for a longest period of time, and I realized that I was wrong to be angry at you. Therefore, I apologize. Once you say that, you're good to go. Okay, now God will see your suffering, because when you're trying to forgive them and overcome them, you're trying to move from your fallen state back to your path of greatness. So God will see that, and God will facilitate that. He will take that anger out of you. He will take that false identity of you. He will bring back the spirit of light. He will now bring back your identity, and through that identity, God will reveal things through it. So therefore, everything you will be doing will not be you doing it. You're not responsible again. You'll just be doing it on behalf of the spirit that lives inside you. So you'll be a vessel. They should hear this also. Yes, of course, they are. Most parents are here, and I know they hear this. But again, most times the spirit of evil tries to suppress everything. So they will hear it, they will see the sense, but they cannot. The ego will not allow them to actually face their children and tell them, you know what? I realized I was weak and I was evil, and I only hope that you can actually forgive me. You can actually go ahead and forgive me for trying to impose my false identity in you. They can't. Ego cannot allow them. So therefore, you have to liberate yourself. If you're a parent, face your children and tell them and apologize to your children. And if you're a child or you're a daughter and you're suffering, you're having all these issues in your marriage, in your relationships, you're trying to find satisfaction from money, from careers, from relationships and all that, and it's not coming through, it's time for you to forgive your mother and forgive your father to overcome their evil nature. That is what we do on Identity Fridays. That's the reason why Identity Fridays exists, because most of the diseases that you people suffer from, they are hypochondriac. They are coming from your thoughts. So they are just the evil nature trying to control you and show you the wrong way. And you submit to it. That is the problem. When you submit to it, you become it. Is narcissistic personality evil or something inherent? There's nothing like narcissist. I'm telling you this. Don't get out of that intellect, because you are taught that word by somebody. That is somebody who did not even know God, because if he or she knew God, angejua that there's only two sides of the story, black and white, evil and good. So us labeling these spirits of evil with different names to just make sure that we feel good and comfortable about it doesn't make sense. And you realize most women will say, this man was a narcissist after breaking up from that marriage that lasted 6 years. So for 6 years you married and stayed with a narcissist. You will only realize that after you've broken up. Doesn't make sense. You attracted who you are. So if you call somebody a narcissist, you are a better one. You are a bigger one. That's why you attracted who you are. So until you fix the inside you will constantly blame them. Because calling somebody a narcissist basically means you have to blame them. You're blaming them for what happened to you. And every person knows they have a role to play in a broken relationship. They have a role. They will only not admit that they played a bigger role also. Because the ego, they want to be good. They want to feel good about themselves. They want to be seen as the ones who are the better partner in this relationship. So when they break up, they want everybody to actually side with them. And of course, women like lying to each other, so they will side with the woman. Because women are emotional creatures. They want to be pampered after a breakup, and that's how they end up getting into more problems. Now a man comes and gives you a leaning shoulder, a crying shoulder, and before you realize it, you just attracted another beast. He's there cracking you every time to actually make you heal. How can you heal by having sex with another man? At a rebound. Hey, where were? Good question though. Good question. You can't call somebody a narcissist. How did you even know he's a narcissist? Evil identifies evil. Okay? Evil identifies evil. So by the time you're calling them narcissists, you're actually telling us who you are. And you're actually telling us you don't like what you see in the mirror. So the evil ones will side with you. They don't want to call you out because they're afraid because of what they're getting from you. Whatever they're getting from you is what is making them actually side with you. If that thing is gone, they cannot side with you. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to advertise my platforms. We are doing a live on YouTube right now. It's called HAWS, H-A-W-S with Dr. Lewis. That is the platform that we will constantly do our Identity Fridays on. So therefore, do not go on Health and Wellness Spot looking for Identity Fridays. Identity Fridays are only happening on HAWS with Dr. Lewis. And I think I'll change that name to Identity Fridays so that you can actually easily find it. We're also doing the live on TikTok, Health and Wellness Spot, as usual. So your only role here is to like the live and share it. You can also choose to just sit there and listen and do nothing. Because again, the spirit of evil is telling you, if you like it, this guy is going to be known. He's telling you, if you follow him, imagine you have one follower. How can you follow somebody who has 252,000 subscribers and followers? Why would you do that? I'm being informed that the name was changed to Dr. Lewis. Yes, I know the name was changed to Dr. Lewis, but the unfortunate part is if you search Dr. Lewis, it doesn't bring it. It brings. All right, there are people who told me if you search it with Dr. Lewis, it brings the other channel. Yeah, I tried to change the name to Dr. Lewis. So there are two, but I advertised it on my platforms. There are two YouTube channels that I have. One for health, specifically the health and wellness sport, and this other new channel. It's called Dr. Lewis. So join all of them. I think I'll rename this one to Identity Fridays. Good. Number 2, we are going to Nairobi from the 27th of this month all the way to the 7th of February for our physical consultations. So therefore, start booking your application, your slot now through the office contact. And the office contact I always provide it on my videos on YouTube, but I'll do it again. 0707074722. Now there are people who I provide this contact and they'll still go ahead and find my number and call me. I know people who share my contact with other people and they share my direct contact. And when that contact is not picked, you start complaining. Oh, we've been calling, you're not picking. Yes, I'll not pick. I have things to do also. So let's be respectful people. I've given you this contact because I know this is the contact that can actually be used for bookings and for all inquiries. So you skip this, you decide to go and get my direct contact and you call me and you expect me to talk to you directly. It's not going to make sense. It's not going to make sense. There's a lot that is going on and you have to respect that space. Please respect that space. And when I call you out, you're saying, oh, he's very rude. I'm not rude. I call you out. I call the evil in you. Instantly, because I say it every time. If you attend my lives, you get on my platforms, I say all these things every time. So use WhatsApp to text on that contact. 0707074722. Mickey has posted it on TikTok. That is a contact that you can actually use for consultations and booking your space and inquiries. Again, we have our merchandise, the fermented cabbages, the roasted coffee and grounded coffee, and the cheap tallow. These 3 are being sold at Imenti House. So, the entrance that is opposite Beba stores. You get there, you get to the 2nd floor, shop number 60. There's a gentleman there called Brian Omwenga. He will serve you right. And again, most of you go there expecting to find me there. Hey. Listen, that gentleman is Omwenga Brian. I provide his contacts on my Telegram channel. So please use that contact to actually order and then go there and get it. He can actually organize a delivery as long as you pay for it. No, again, we have a weight loss program that is starting on 15th of this month, a 3 months weight loss program. And all of you know what we do on those weight loss programs. Oh, it's just amazing. We teach you spiritual aspect of life. We actually help you fix your ego and emotions. We help you fix anger and overcome these things. We help you know how to exercise, how to develop the discipline, how to wean off bad habits in terms of eating, how to actually ease up on depression prescriptions, and we teach you how to fast. So all these things are a holistic approach and package that comes with the health and wellness weight loss group. So use that contact to also book for your slot in the weight loss group. It starts on the 15th. I guess that is next week on Wednesday or so. So use that contact to actually book your slot. Pay for it and then join in. Okay? And then I have platforms on different social media. I have different channels on social media platforms. One, I have a platform on Facebook with 80,000 people. It's called Lewis Muchile. I have a platform on Instagram, Lewis Muchile. I have a platform on X, Lewis Muchile. I have a platform on YouTube, Health and Wellness Sport. Go there and subscribe. Also subscribe on this channel, Dr. Lewis. I have a platform on TikTok. Follow it. This one, Health and Wellness Sport. There's another one called Dr. Lewis. Follow it and just subscribe. The reason why I'm having all these platforms is because one day you'll wake up and these platforms are gone. We will survive with the ones that will be there. So therefore join them so that you can actually get the information. It's free. And then I have a very good platform on Telegram, also called Health and Wellness Sport. Go there and join a generation of people who understand health. They will teach you things. They will correct you. They will call you out. Yeah, so do not come there with a weak heart. Those are not channels for the weak-hearted people. They're not channels that will massage your ego. They call you out. So do not come there thinking that we are there to mask your ego. Do not come there just asking questions. Use your time to use the search button. Check out the content, understand the nature of content, and now you can start asking those questions, and they shall be answered. So welcome on board, and this is amazing. Amazing. Good. It's time for my people on TikTok to request to be in. I know there are so many people who are here and would want to have a conversation with us. So you can actually come in and let's see if I can address your concerns. Usingoje tupatane huko nje uanze kuniambia daktari, lakini unajua ile kitu ulisema mimi kuniingia sana. But you know doctor, I have my friends. Some of you come in and say, you know, I have my friends who na ni wewe. I have friends who don't agree with you. I'm like, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to. Good. So our first guest here is Anita. Anita, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Talk to us. Where are you talking to us from?
I'm in Kikuyu.
Oh, you're in Kikuyu. Welcome on board. Tell us your story.
Thank you. Okay, I have a family member
Yes.
who is suffering from hypertension, and he has taken medicine for like 1 year.
Anita.
So,
Anita.
Yes.
What is the title of this? What is the title of this live?
Health and wellness.
What is the title of this live? Not the channel. The live. What is the title there?
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure.
Okay. What have we been talking about? How long have you been here?
Like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Sawa. Good. This is an Identity Friday. We said Identity Fridays, we're not talking anything about medication and all that and this health conditions. We are talking about conditions that actually come from the mind. It's an Identity Friday. The name should actually explain things to you. It's an Identity Friday. So how can we talk about hypertension on Identity Fridays? Hypertension is a condition that is coming from the diet. Identity problems are coming from the mindset and the spirit of evil in our hearts. So the two are not related. Such questions should be retained for Mondays, because Mondays is when we do a whole live on health issues. And if somebody is suffering from hypertension, you've been here for 10 minutes, there's a lot of information about hypertension, diabetes, cancer, and all that on my YouTube channel, Health and Wellness Sport. Just make an effort. Okay? So yes, Fridays are for identities. Kit Kat. Hey, somebody's called Kit Kat. Kit Kat. Yes, Kit Kat.
Hi, Dr. Lewis.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
All is well. How do you know you're fine?
What? Come again?
How do you know you're fine?
That's a good question. I feel fine.
Okay.
I feel good.
Okay. So take me through your story.
So okay, so I just find it so interesting how you're breaking down and deconstructing this whole dichotomy between being mentally how do I put it? Being mentally well and sane,
Yeah.
and the other end of the spectrum where someone is going through a tough time mentally, they're going through some tribulations or some stress or something difficult.
Yeah.
And I just came to realize recently the spiritual aspect that you're not talking about.
Yeah.
How your parents play a role in that.
Yes.
So my story is,
Okay.
and I didn't know about this. I just started realizing it recently. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Your parents play a very big role in your identity.
Yeah.
So I've now started doing the work
Yeah.
of understanding myself. I've gone back in time in my mind and I've started noticing where things went wrong.
Yeah.
And this is my theory.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the man is the head of the household.
Yes.
And the mother is the one who's supposed to love the children. I don't think I received the right amount of love as a young person.
Okay.
And and it really hurts me, and to this day I don't know how to confront my mother about it. I'm scared, and I don't think I should.
Yeah.
Like you said, I should just forgive her and be a better person.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it stems from why my mom wasn't able to give the love that she was supposed to.
Yeah.
Is because my dad was, let's say, I don't know what else, he's a cheater. Like, he used to sleep outside of the marriage with other women.
Mm-hmm.
So that now caused dysfunction in the home. And as a young person, I recognized there was something wrong.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm an adult,
yes,
I can see clearly what the issue was. Because obviously, there's no way that a woman would be okay with her husband going outside to sleep with other women or doing those things.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt her.
Okay.
And I think the thing and I used to blame my mom for being mean and being angry and not giving me the love that I deserved, or she wasn't attuned to my emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing you said about drawing a tattoo is so triggering to me.
Yeah.
Because I did that when I was 17, and I didn't
Yeah.
even know why I did it. It was like peer pressure, but
Yes.
then why didn't I say no? Why didn't I tell my mom? I had no avenue to communicate with my mom because I thought she was bad vibes. I thought she was negative.
Mm-hmm.
So I never used to tell her things like when I was being bullied or being peer pressured.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see her as someone to confide in.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell my dad either because that's my dad.
Yeah.
I don't talk to my dad about certain things. Now as an adult, I'm just trying to find a way to forgive my parents and just get out of that. Like, yes, I don't know if it's possible to forget, but I just want to move on from those things. I don't want to be that person anymore.
Yeah.
And I still see myself doing negative things. I used to go out to the club and drink.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I would say I'm 6 months sober now.
Amazing.
I haven't had alcohol for 6 months. And nowadays I'm prayerful. I try to pray every time, because ever since I started getting closer to God, things have been clearer. So I try to pray as much as I can, build that connection, and then just trying to veer away from sin. I don't want to see anything related to sinful behavior.
Yeah.
But I am a human being,
Mm-hmm.
and there are times that it's difficult. So maybe you can advise me what the best way, or maybe I can just hear from you and then we can have a conversation.
Amazing.
Okay? Story.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming in. What's your name?
My name is KitKat.
KitKat. Now, KitKat, I want you to get this. Anything that and everything that has happened to you is not your fault. You're not responsible for anything that has happened to you. Start by knowing that. That is one. Number two, you don't have a past and you don't have a future. The only thing you have is now. The past and the future are all in your imagination. And imagination is where the devil controls. So he knows that your weakest part is here, your imagination. So he actually controls those imagination because the devil cannot destroy you. So he uses your mind and your imagination to actually make you destroy yourself. So it's time for you to stop destroying yourself by getting into your imagination. Stay present. But this is the point. And I want to explain your story so that somebody who is still here and actually relates to this story can actually get it. Now, I said that most marriages are basically weak men, and then women become so angry at them. Why are they weak? They are weak because, one, they never forgave their mothers, so they come into this marriage with an identity of their mothers. They are hollow, they are emotional, they are seeking love, so they think they will get love from a woman. They get married for the wrong reasons. They think when they get married, they'll get sex. Now, it is evident that this gentleman got married. He did not marry. He got married to your mother. And then the thrill that he was chasing was not satisfied. The sex that he thought would be abundant was not satisfying. That's why he actually went out to start chasing that. But we cannot judge him because, again, we understand it is not him. He is not responsible. It is the spirit that lives in him that was taught to him, the evil one, that controls him to do the things that he wants to do. But understand this, that as we are in that fallen state, all we know is evil. And I want you to know this. Would you want your children to judge you for what you've done in the past?
No, I wouldn't.
Exactly. There are things that you've done that are so evil that you will not even want your children to judge you for, right? Because you know very well you're not the one who was doing it. If you had the know-how, you would actually avoid doing those things. But you ended up doing them. You just said you drew a tattoo at 17, and you didn't know why. It was peer pressure. You had, right now you can actually see, you had the power to say no, but you still went ahead and did it because it was not you. It was the spirit that lives in you that was controlling you. And you are expressing anger, that pain on your skin. And that is not your fault. Okay? So stop judging yourself. That is one. And now look at it this way. So your dad was weak. That's why he kept on chasing the spirit of evil, chasing thrills in terms of sex and having multiple sex partners. We are not judging him. We are just saying. Now your mother became angry, and because your mother could not portray this anger to your father, he turned this anger to you. And when he turned this anger to you, you started resenting your mother without even knowing. The reason why you're afraid of your mother is because you resent her. If you did not resent her, you would have just faced her. So you resent her because you thought she was mean. And of course she was mean because he was actually trying to portray her anger with your father to you. And the reason that happens is because mothers look at the children and they see their fathers in these children. They see their husbands in these children. And now, because they cannot do anything about the fathers, they start turning this to their children. They destroy these children. Remember, the first role of a father is to protect children against the anger and emotions that are coming from their mothers. But because our fathers were so weak, they were unable to actually do this. They were unable to stand out and to stand against the evil nature of our mothers. So our mothers ended up dominating them and dominating the children. And they imposed the false identities in the children. And this is how you ended up suffering. Do you have anger?
I don't think so.
Do you have...
I don't really get angry.
Oh, so you don't get angry at all?
Not really, no.
No.
Maybe that's already a red flag on its own, but I don't really get angry.
Okay, so you have never gotten...
Okay, let me put it this way.
Yes.
I don't get angry outwardly. Like, I get angry in my head, and then I get a headache from thinking about negative things, but I don't have outbursts of anger.
So when you say negative things, what are these negative things?
Like my past mistakes I've made, regrets.
But
like those.
So do you realize you can actually live without anger, because anger is just the nature of evil, and you see it's sending you into your past, yet you don't even have a past.
Okay.
Do you know you don't have a past?
I don't understand what you mean by you don't have a past.
Do you have 10 minutes from now?
10 minutes from... No, I don't have. I'm here now. I don't have...
Now you're getting my point. Now you're getting my point. If you don't have 10 minutes from now, do you have 10 minutes past?
That's gone.
Exactly. So all that is remaining for your past or from your past is just an imagination. There's nothing real. The real reality is now. You're living now, and this is what you have now. You need to handle it now. So you don't have a future. You don't even have a past. So get out of that imagination. And the only way to get off imagination is one, doubt every single thought that is coming into your head. Every single one of them, doubt them. Pay attention, but do not act upon those thoughts. And I'm glad that you actually think, or you actually get the anger, but you don't act upon it. That is one way of doubting the thoughts. But most importantly, you must overcome the nature of your mother from you. That evil nature is the one that is actually sending you into this rage, this anger, this overthinking, thinking about the past and negative things. There's nothing negative, you'll realize. It's just good and evil. So therefore, for you to get out of your imagination, you must forgive the spirit that actually taught you these crazy things. And that is the spirit of your mother. So then how do you do this? And I know you've already said you're afraid of your mother. Now, fear is the nature of evil. So you have to put in the work, because there's a price to pay for you to overcome evil and come back to the righteous path, okay? So you must go and face your mother. You can even make a call and tell her these exact words. I've realized that I'm wrong for resenting you. I've been wrong all the way because I've been resenting you, and I realize it's not right to resent human beings. So I admit that I was wrong for resenting you, and I apologize. Understand that statement will humble the ego from your mother's side, because you've not pushed her to think that she was the one who was wrong. you've actually admitted that you are the one who was wrong. Because when you are in the righteous state, you realize you're the one who was wrong, because you're not supposed to hate, you're not supposed to judge, you're not supposed to resent human beings, because they're nature of God. So what do? You say, I've realized that I've been wrong for resenting you for no good reason, and I apologize. Once you say that, give your mother some time to respond. Now understand, women are always emotional, so she will pull this emotional trick or emotional move to actually pull you back into your evil nature. Do not allow it. So what you do is, once you say those words, do not say any other word. Listen to what she's saying. If she goes ahead and cries and says, oh, you know what, I was just being you, your father was, you realize your father was being this evil, because I know most of the things that you've heard about your father cheating were coming from your mother. So she actually dragged you. Did you see your father cheating?
I mean, he was just not really, he was kind of sloppy. Like, you'd notice that he has the scent of another woman on him. Like, if he picked me up from school, or I'd see texts on his phone from, like, he's talking to someone. It's not like my mom used to...
Why did you go through your father's phone?
I don't know, because I noticed he used to make late night calls to a lady, and then he was telling her, I love you.
So why did you go why did you go through his phone?
I don't know, something just made me do it.
Something?
It's hard to see.
Something? What is that thing that made you go through your father's phone?
I was a young person. I don't know. I can't give you those.
But you see, you're not your father's wife, so you did not have any right to go through his phone. So what is this thing that actually made you go through your father's phone?
I don't know. I can't tell you. But let me say this: there was a time. I think he was also just kind of, I don't know. Maybe you can explain this one to me, because there's a time that he asked me to block a number on his phone, and I saw the text that he wanted me to block the number from. I don't think he knew how to block numbers on his phone, so he asked me to help him block a number on his phone, and I saw the texts that were coming in from that number, and they were so bad. I can't even say the things that were said on that text. So
your father told you to block this number that was disturbing him, and you decided to go and read the text messages?
It was there. It wasn't like it was hidden. It was in front of my eyes.
No, I just wanted to say yes or no. So your father told you to block this number because this number was becoming irritating, and you decided, not let me go through this text and see what this person who is.
I did go through to the messages, and I did see that because I was suspicious.
Yeah. So why were you suspicious? Why were you suspicious? Because suspicion comes from somewhere.
I think I had a gut feeling that there was something wrong, so I wanted to go and confirm my suspicions.
But how would you know something was wrong? Yet the truth is, as a child, I knew. As a child, my father's business was none of my business. I didn't even know that there's cheating as a child. So how would I know that my father is cheating, and then I become suspicious, so that when he tells me to block this number, I go through his text messages? What was triggering that?
As a child, I knew because I was exposed to a lot. Okay, this is a theory. I was exposed to a lot of adult content because I used to watch lots of TV shows and movies as a young person. So I kind of had that exposure to know what it looks like.
Oh, but if your father decided to have another wife, was that a problem?
Actually, that's good that you brought that up because I don't know. I think that I grew up in a toxic environment because my dad asked me, me and my dad were close, mind you. My dad asked me at some point, what's the problem with a man having a second wife? Personally, I think there is no problem with that.
Yeah.
If the second wife is someone who is going to be able to be supported by my dad without there being any conflicts or issues in his first family. But I don't know I don't know if that would be something he would have managed. But it would have been manageable.
But as a child, how would you know this new wife, this other wife is going to bring conflict in your home unless you're told this by somebody?
Like I said, my parents weren't that clean in terms of when problems arise. They weren't they were kind of messy. There's a time one of my dad's girlfriends phoned my mom, and she had picked us up from school. And then, she was insulting my mom on the phone and calling her names. And my mom was so angry. And then she called her back. And then she also started insulting her and telling her off. And can you imagine what that can be like for a young person in a car driving with... The driver of the car is livid. and you're just there wondering what's going on. I honestly didn't understand it, but now I understand it.
But you see, that's the reason why I always say, that most women don't love their children. Because they don't have love. The men that they got married to don't know God. They don't have love. So therefore, these women don't have love. That's why actually 90% of women don't love their children. They think they love their children, but they don't. That's why they can leave these children with a maid and go do work. That's why they can actually leave these children. They can actually imagine your mother shouting and abusing somebody on phone. Something that you should actually just avoided when you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And anger and the spirit of evil could not allow her to just take some time off this, because if she took about 10 seconds or 10 minutes to just respond, she will realize the response was not necessary. And you see, the truth of the matter is this. The truth of the matter is this. We attract who we are. So therefore, your mother attracted your father. All of them were evil. So one thing you should know, you should never take sides. Don't blame your father, don't blame your mother. All of them, they had their own businesses. Possibly your mother was cheating too, only that we did not find out. So therefore, do not take sides. Simply be innocent in this. Understand that whatever was controlling them is the nature of evil, and they did not want to do what they were doing. Your mother did not want to shout at another woman when you're in that car. She didn't. She was being controlled by a certain spirit. And unless she overcomes that spirit, she'll be miserable all her life. She'll constantly think that she's doing good, she's doing better, but she's not. So for you, you have to liberate yourself from this evil spirit of them. They taught you anger, they taught you weakness, they taught you insecurities, they put so much pain in you, and you have to overcome this. And the only way to overcome is forgive. You forgive them, you overcome them, you get your own identity, you liberate yourself from this thing that people have labeled as generational curses. You deserve better, and you can get better, but you have to pay a price because you fell from your path into the fallen state. So you coming back is all forgiveness.
Yeah.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 29.
Are you in a relationship? Or are you married?
No, I'm single.
Ah, good. Now, it is easier for you to actually fix yourself now. Because if you fix yourself now, you will end up attracting a masculine man, a man who will teach you God, a man who will take care of you without you having to share bills, a man who will show you the way. But if you keep on having this anger, even if you pray, you've told me you're a prayerful person, but you see, all that you're praying to is actually praying to avoid the things that you've actually gone through. So you're praying from your mind. You're praying to your father, the devil. And until you overcome the spirit of evil inside you, you cannot pray from your heart. You'll keep on praying from your mind. That's a problem, because when you pray from your mind, you're praying to the father, the devil. When you pray from the heart, the prayer is going direct to heaven. So the reality is this. Go into prayer, but this prayer has to be a silent prayer. Okay? So go ahead and forgive your mother, overcome her. Forgive your father and overcome him. And then after that, sit back and stick in prayer. Always stay present. If your mind starts taking you into the past, bring it back into present. If it takes you into the future, you don't have a future, bring it back into present. So always stay present. Focus on what you're doing now. The power is in now. And then stick in prayer. Anytime you see something that is going to irritate you, make a silent prayer. Just simply say, I hope that they see light through the same window that I've seen light through. That is a prayer. And in the morning when you wake up, simply sit down on that bed and then just do a silent prayer. Close your eyes and focus your mind in between your eyes and just relax. Let all those evil thoughts and the good thoughts flow into your head. Do not fight any. Let them flow into your head and out. Let them flow in and out. Give yourself about 5 to 10 minutes and then open up your eyes. That is a silent prayer. That is you praying through the heart, not praying through your mind. Do you understand me? Yeah. Once you do that, you will realize this burden was not your burden. It was an evil spirit that was put in you. So once you start doubting your thoughts, start sticking in prayer, silent prayer, focusing on the present, all these ideas that are in your head start to disappear. And that's how you win this battle. But you must make sure that you start from the initial phases of not judging your parents. They were not doing this because they wanted to do it. They were being controlled by the evil spirit. And then you have to overcome them. Don't judge them. Go and overcome them by forgiving them. Once you've done that, you'll get your own identity. Now stick in prayer, stay present, and I highly recommend a book that is called Doing the Work. Is it called what? Yeah. How to Do the Work. This book. You see this book? It's called How to Do the Work and it's written by Dr. 𝗦𝗨𝗖𝗖𝗘𝗘𝗗. Go and read this book. As you do your silent prayer, as you try to stick in prayer, and as you try to actually lead a healthy life, you will get a lot of temptations because the devil does not want to die in you. It will be a painful process, but you need to go through it. So once you've gotten your identity, you realize the people that you attract will be people who share the same mindset, people who will respect you as women, but men who will take care of you. And you'll realize that you will respect and submit this man automatically. Because when a man provides a masculine energy, because this is a man who knows God, he will take care of you. He provides a masculine energy, and you will fall into your feminine core. But like when you are right now, however, you'll keep on running. You run away from your parents because whoever you resent you become just like them. You keep on running from the false identities, but you carry them in your heart. So you'll think you've gotten somebody who is coming in to actually help you win off this battle. But you'll simply be attracting your father, a very weak man. He will act a role of a good man. And then after acting a role of a good man, immediately you give him the cookie, he turns to become the beast. And at that moment in time, you are there hoping that this guy is my everything. So your only role at this moment in time is to seek God, and the rest shall be added unto you. Find your own identity. Once you get that identity, God will open up channels to attract people and energy that will actually resonate from your area code. And that's what you need.
Okay.
So I highly recommend you go and forgive your mother, forgive your father, and then stick in prayer, and always read this book. Yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask just a question as a parting shot.
Yes.
I have a friend who's addicted to masturbation, and he's also now stepping outside his marriage as a result. And I told him the pornography that you're watching is what's making you have this fantasy of sex. What makes you think that you're going to get what you want out of another woman that you're not getting from home? Why don't you just stop watching it? So I just want to ask, how can I help him to stop pornography and stay safe in his marriage?
Are you a Christian?
No, I'm not a Christian.
What?
I do believe in God.
Oh, you believe in God?
Mm-hmm.
And who is God?
Okay, I believe in the Abrahamic God. Let me put it that way.
What is that?
Because I just don't want to give too much details about my life like that. What do you mean? What is that?
What is Abrahamic God?
The one, the God of Abraham.
Who is that?
He's a creator. He's the one who made us, and he's the one who will return to.
Do you know that your biological father is your earthly representation of God?
Yes, to some extent.
No, to all extents. You said God is your creator, right?
Can you? Yes.
So who is your creator on earth? Who carries the seed?
The man.
Exactly. So your father, your biological father, whether you like it or not, he is your earthly representation of God. And by forgiving your mother and forgiving your father and overcoming them means you are reconnecting with God, your biological father. Once you do that, regardless of what he has done, once you reconnect with his soul, you get a direct ticket to a reconnection with God, your identity. Now, on that note, no, stop reading what people are saying. Stop reading what people are saying. Concentrate. Now, for Christians, you are not Jesus. So there's no way you're going to save somebody. You cannot save your friend. You will actually become just like him. All of you will be masturbating and then consoling each other. You will be consoling each other after the masturbation. And that laughter tells me something. So this is the point. The point is, stop saving people. You're not here to save people. How can you even advise somebody to win off masturbation when you are in the fallen state? You don't know what is right and what is evil because you've not reconnected with your biological father. You don't know God. That's why you're classifying God as Abrahamic God and all this. God is a spirit. It's not somebody you can actually say is an Abrahamic God, is a Moses God and all that. God is a spirit. So you must reconnect with that spirit by doing good, by forgiving those you resent. So through that, you will realize that you are in the world but not of the world. So therefore, anything that is happening around you will not matter, including your friend. If he wants to masturbate until he faints, he will do it there and you will not care. Because you're not here to fix him. He will have to fix himself. He has to get an identity. He has to actually forgive his mother because the evil nature is in him. He has to forgive his weak father. Through that, he will know God and he will get his own revelations on how to win the masturbation war. And then he has to find help from somebody who is actually a professional. Now he's seeking help from you because he relates with you. Because all of you are in the evil nature. So therefore, you must overcome that evil nature. Stop working on other people. Work on you, KitKat. Work on you. Fix you. Through fixing you, other things will fix themselves. Seek ye first, and the rest shall be added unto you. Stop seeking identities and validation from other people. You'll start thinking, oh, now because I helped this one, I'm the better person. That is ego. Oh, I have an idea because I've read a book. I have an idea on how to help this one to win masturbation. Oh, I talked to Doc, and Doc advised me on how to help this one. So I'm going to help him. So you're actually trying to think that you are the better person. That is ego. You understand me? So you are in the world but not of the world. Whatever is happening around you is none of your business. Fix you. It is that simple. Go and forgive, go and overcome, seek in prayer. That identity that you're going to get by forgiving your mother and your father will guide you on what to do. If it guides you on how to help this person, so be it. But at this moment in time, you cannot help when you've not found help yourself. Go find help by forgiving.
Okay, thanks.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. It is amazing. It's tremendous. It is inspiring, and we appreciate you. The boldness, the courage that actually brought you here is the same courage that will actually take you to face your mother. Okay, so go. You deserve better.
Okay. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. Amazing, ladies and gentlemen. This is just amazing. This is tremendous. This is tremendous. I was to drink water. Hey, when I tell you that most of you are suffering from the weaknesses of your father and the anger from your mothers, you tell me, oh, Doc, you are misogynistic. The likes of Akina Sue will come here shouting, he's angry. Look at him being angry. I'm like, yeah? The devil is very sharp. The devil knows your weakness is your thoughts. So the devil makes you have this ego and makes you feel like you're the better person. Imagine, I have all my problems. I am so much suffering. I'm suffering, but I'm thinking I can actually fix somebody else. I mean, I'm not Jesus. So I'm there thinking that I can only fix other people. Yet I have my problems. I have identity issues, but I'm thinking I can actually fix identity issues from other people. It doesn't make sense. You must find your identity. And if God tries or God decides to use you to fix other people, so be it. But until you find your own identity, you will not see light. It's impossible. So you'll attract friends who are drunkards just like you, who are sex addicts, who are chasing thrills, and they will make you feel comfortable because misery loves company. And until you overcome that nature, you will keep on attracting the same people. If you keep on running from your fathers, just imagine this, that one day you'll become a parent. If you decide not to be the umbrella people, you will become a parent. And there are mistakes that you've made, even now, there are mistakes that you're still making. And you will not want your children to judge you for those mistakes. Oh, you will not want your children to judge you because you went to Saudi, or you went to Kilimani for somebody to poop into your mouth so that you can actually afford school fees for them. Will you want your children to judge you for that? So why are you judging your parents? They were operating in a fallen state and it's only okay. So now that you know better, you forgive them. You overcome them so that you release their spirit, their false identities. And now you have your own identity. Is that not amazing? And the biggest problem for us all is facing our parents to overcome them. It is so hard because the devil knows if you overcome your parents, you have an identity. You become of the nature of good. He doesn't want that. He wants to use you to mock God. So he'll provide these false ideas in your head. Oh, don't do that. Your mother will get angry. Oh, your father he was just evil. You don't need to forgive your father because he was just evil. Imagine he was cheating on your mother. And all these ideas were coming from your mother. Your father is actually cheating on me. I've survived. I've actually took you through school, all through. But with your father sleeping with other women out there. You see, those women are calling me on my phone. You see this? And then your weak father is there trying to tell you, oh, I don't know how to block this woman. This woman that I've just slept with yesterday. You see, there are nudes here in this contact. There are nudes here from that woman. But you, my daughter, please help me block this woman who is sending me nudes. Weakness after weakness. And you can't judge them. If you judge them, you become just like them. Oh, we must overcome. Let me do last call and then we call it a night. We must overcome. Forgive. Do not care about forgetting. Because it's not in your role to forget. You just forgive and let the rest happen. endure the pain, because coming back to that path is a hard task. But we know it's not a walk in the park. Yes, Simon. Simon, are you there?
Hello, hi Doc.
Hello, how are you?
Hi Doc.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Your network is a little bit a mess.
Issue is that I have. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Let me do this another day because I can't move where I am right now.
Okay. Oh, but I had a feeling this guy had a good story. I don't know why. You know, my instincts are very crazy. My instincts are very yeah, the instincts are they're crazy. They will know a good stories here. Yeah, but these stories are not just supposed to be good. They're supposed to inspire us. They're supposed to teach us a lesson. They're supposed to help us know that we're actually suffering without even knowing. Okay? They're supposed to show us something. So do not just sit there and judge and laugh and then go and say, oh, you know, Doc was talking with this lady, and don't get this emotional. Just come in and request, let's have a conversation. You will see the bigger picture of it. Yes, Daisy.
Hi, Doc.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How do you know you're good?
Personally, I am good kwa sababu of the breath that I have. I'm really grateful just for that.
Okay. Take me through your story.
And the health, and I feel good. So it's not even a story of mine, but it's something that I...
Please move near the mouthpiece. Your voice is your sound is disappearing. Please move near the phone.
So?
Move near the phone. Your voice, your sound is disappearing. I can't hear you clearly.
Oh, my voice is gone?
Yes, now we can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
So I had this concern about a friend I met, and he told me he grew up in like a single mother family.
Okay.
And that he doesn't want to have kids kwa sababu he doesn't think that bringing kids that didn't ask to be here is fair, because I think he suffered.
So he's a man?
Yeah, he's a guy. So
Okay.
That has been troubling me, and I'm like, why would somebody think that not bringing kids is the same way as maybe he grew up with a single mother and the mother really struggled raising him up. So he has decided to be childless.
Okay, how old is he?
Approaching 40.
Okay. Why does he find need to share this with you? Are you the girlfriend, or are you just somebody who is concerned?
It's a long time. It's 2 years ago. I never like that's when I joined this life, during the past, you're still addressing some issues like those. I just want to know at that time you were hitting on me, so whenever maybe somebody is hitting on me, I'll ask about, well, how do you feel about kids?
Oh, so he was hitting on you, and you decided, you know what, this guy might be the guy that I've been looking for, and possibly if we have to go far, we need to know if he's interested in kids, because I'm interested in having children, right?
I didn't think that this is the one, but obviously there's some things that you need to know how to think of before you even start.
But if he wasn't the one, how did you end up talking about kids? Or you're just testing waters?
Trial and error.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
I'm always
You always
so eager to know how people think about kids.
Okay. Why?
Because I feel like kids are just like, we are blessed, like to make someone is just something else. So I don't want to have somebody who doesn't want to have kids, and I want to have kids myself.
But you know, kids are a topic that is supposed to be discussed by people who are actually intending to get married. So you actually supposed to get children in a marriage, right? That's the only way you can raise those children in the best way.
It's true, but is it not like you have to have like the intentions of having those kids in the first place before you even think about marriage.
But you see the point, the reality is this is where most ladies mess. You will tell me that you're interested about kids, and I'll act as somebody who loves children so bad, because I want the cookie. I don't want you. I want the cookie. So I will act as that guy who really loves children. You get the point? Yeah. So that's where most ladies get to mess, because you asked, what do you look for in a man? You're looking for a father figure, somebody who... Were you raised by both parents?
Personally, no. That's also what's troubling me.
So
I was raised by my mom.
Oh, you're raised by your mother?
My dad is not in the... Yeah.
And where is your dad?
Where is the story?
Yeah.
He's there, but we're not close.
What?
We don't talk. He's married with other kids.
So are you angry that he's married with another family? That he doesn't give you the attention anymore?
No, the only thing that makes me angry is he thinks, some people will think like having money or being physically like available is the only thing. There is also like only talking to your kid, like too mentally and emotionally.
Okay.
Like you are happy with their physically or financially.
So you're trying to say, or you're trying to imply that instead of your father giving you the attention in terms of physical attention and maybe talking to you, he would actually prefer...
Physical attention.
So he
want the physical, I don't want the financial.
So what do you want?
I prefer like to have a relationship.
Which type of relationship?
Good. The father and child relationship, even though like it didn't happen long ago, but if I'm this old enough, I deserve to know like what happened, because I don't know the story. I don't know how it ended.
All right. How old are you, Daisy?
24.
Okay. And you're angry at your father?
No. I'm not that kind of a person. I've always forgiven whatever happened in the past.
Did you face him? Did you face him and did you tell him that you forgive him?
No.
So you forgave in your head?
Yeah. But I felt like, okay, I always feel like if I go there, I'll have a lot to say, and we don't know each other. I don't know what kind of person.
But every child has a void of their biological fathers.
What do you mean this world?
Daisy, every child has a void inside them that longs for their biological fathers. That's the reason why you're thinking when you go there, you'll have a lot to say. And now you're worried, I don't know him, what will I say? Now, these are things that will actually unfold. So you're living in the future that you don't even have. But do you see the bigger picture is, you saw the other guy and you thought this guy is a good guy in quotes, but he doesn't want kids. And you even dug deep and realized this guy was raised by only one parent, a single parent. And you failed to actually get it that you're actually attracting who you are, because he was hitting on you. So you attracted him because you came from the same background. Do you see that? So whatever you're running away from, you kept on attracting it, only in a different person.
The attraction didn't start from there. Sorry.
But it doesn't matter where the attraction started from. The attraction was there. You guys even had a conversation about children. That's when you notice this guy is not interested in children because he has traumas, so he has to fix himself. But you attracted who you are.
Yeah.
Like this is a guy that was hitting on you. You get the attraction I'm talking about. He was hitting on you. So if he loved children, he would actually be a potential suitor for you.
And he didn't know I'm from a single mom. I
No.
didn't know he was from a single mom. We knew that.
So how did you know? You knew later.
So we want to... I knew later, like way later, before, after even I decided, like... when I asked him again, why don't you want to have kids? He said, like, what if I have kids and I die and my kids has to struggle with their mom? Like, he doesn't see a need of doing someone
So Daisy, I want us to be clear with this, because my power is going off. I want us to be clear with this. Do you want to fix the man or do you want to fix you?
No, I want to know, like...
What do you want to know?
Somebody think like that.
Why would somebody think like...
Why would someone go bringing, like having kids is going to, like the kids are going to suffer?
But why would you care about... Why would you care about his thoughts? It's none of your business, because you're not here for him. You're here for you.
Because, okay.
So why would you care about his thoughts?
Sorry to say this, but sometimes... let me say, sometimes I think like that.
Why?
Like, ever since he told me that, I've been thinking, oh, like, mtu tu kaa hivyo bila kuwa na watoto juu, mbona kuje watoto wakuja wako na trauma,
but
everything.
Daisy, my concern is, why are you so concerned about him? You've heard multiple things from different people. Why this one? Why about him? Why is his words so offensive to you, and all other words that you've heard, including your father being away, are not offensive? Why is it that this man is the one that you're so interested in fixing? Why do you want to fix him? Or why do you want to know much about his story?
No, I don't want to fix him.
So why are you asking on his behalf?
It's not his story. What's his story? Because it's not one person I've met saying the same thing.
But you are attracting who you are.
I wouldn't.
You're just attracting who you are. So however much you want to run away from this story, you will constantly attract who you are. So it's up to you to decide. You fix yourself, you attract different energy. You don't fix yourself, you attract the same energy. So you are worried about the external world, yet the real world is happening inside you. You are the problem. You need to fix yourself. And unless you fix yourself, you keep attracting the same people who have the same ideas. So why don't you work on fixing yourself? You are only 24. Why don't you work on fixing yourself before thinking about anything else? Because the energy that is coming out of you is actually being portrayed from inside you. Because I'm not understanding where you're saying that these guys constantly talk about not wanting kids because they think that kids they can't raise kids the same way they were raised because it will be trouble. What these guys are telling you is they want to harvest your organ. They are not interested in having kids with you. Think in the bigger direction. They don't want kids with you. So they are telling you, if you ever get a child with me, please get rid of that kid or you'll raise alone. And you see already you are 1-0 down because you are raised by a single parent. So chances of you becoming a single parent are very high. So unless you fix yourself, you're going to go through the same shit every time. So therefore you must fix you. You see now, you're busy trying to fix people from outside. You're trying to fix men. Men can fix themselves. Your role is to fix yourself so that you attract a man who will take care of you, who will actually mold you into a woman who knows God and who can actually raise his children in the right way. That's your role. And I understand that this role was skewed because you did not have a father figure in your life. Your father thought that money can replace physical presence and parental presence. So you're suffering from that. So the reality is you must overcome this. You must overcome the spirit of your father. You must overcome the anger that you're taught by your mother. Once you overcome these things, now it becomes easier for you to see the bigger picture. You have your own identity. You start portraying light, very positive vibrance. Now you attract people who have the same energy. And when you attract people who have the same energy, you'll not have to complain about them not loving children because they'll want to make you a mother.
Yeah.
You get that?
Yes, I understand. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We are constantly trying to fix other people. It is not making sense. It is not going to happen. We can't fix other people. Just come and talk on behalf. And you can see this. Let me just call out the evil nature in this lady called 𝗧𝗛𝗥𝗡𝗃. Stop judging. Let her be helped by a professional. Now, listen. You are on my platform. You should have had the brain to know that this is a platform of a professional. It is that simple. Find a brain and make use of that brain. It's that simple. 𝗧𝗛𝗥𝗡𝗃. I did not coerce her to come on my platform. She decided to come on my platform to share her story. And I'm using her story to actually educate other people. That's why I'm asking all these questions. And you, because of your emotions, and maybe you share the same story, you're feeling attacked. That's your problem. Fix you. It's a you problem, my friend. You also have, you're on TikTok, you have all these bundles, and you're on my platform. Why don't you just start a platform and teach these things there? Is it not easy, Ndungu? Yeah, that could be a pseudo. Is it even her real name? You are called Faith. That name Faith should teach you a lesson. How can you be called Faith and yet you are faithless? Identity is not so. How can you be Faith without faith. Yeah? Faithless. Tawe. Go fix your identity, faithless. Go fix your identity. Daisy knows what she's talking about. I'm telling her the reality of life. And the reality of life is she's attracting who she is. Because she's constantly trying to fix what is outside her. But faithless, in her spirits of evil, she's thinking, oh, you know what, I feel attacked. Now she wants to retaliate because she wants to defend her evil nature. Faith, Ndungu, or faithless. Please. We will join your platform one day and talk about this. Allow me to recognize the gentleman called 𝗬𝗏𝗡𝗧𝗦. Just joined in to say hi to us. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We appreciate the job that you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. I appreciate you. 2 hours, 9 minutes gone. It has been amazing to have all of you here, man. Yeah, this is just tremendous. And if you not learn from the stories of these two people, understand that if you have the nature of evil, you will keep on asking the same questions. I wish I would done one more, but my power is bringing problems. My TikTok is going off. So yeah, I think I'll end it there. We will have another one next week on Friday. Every Friday is an Identity Friday. Join in and learn something new. Join in and bring the conversation. If you've not watched this live from the beginning to the end, you can actually go on YouTube, Dr. Lewis, and check out this live from beginning to end. You'll learn so much. If it offends you, fix yourself. Go and fix the anger. Go and forgive your parents. But please, ladies and gentlemen, start by forgiving. It was the Christmas period that I just ended. That is the period that you've actually used to fix your identities. Forgiving your parents, to overcome their false identities, to get an identity. And through that identity, you will be guided on what to do. Okay? Yeah, somebody saying, Pandisha to Salimia, where is Morara? Morara, if you're here, please, just request to be in. I would like to actually say hi to some people here. But my power is going off, so I don't know. Buana. I don't think he'll have this time to say words here because, again, all the same, tunamkubali, tunamu-appreciate ile kazi anafanya, and we hope that God can actually protect his soul as he does this, because it's a very difficult place to be in. I understand. But somebody has to stand out and speak volume. So thank you so much for joining this Identity Fridays. We will see you again on Monday on Health and Wellness Spot as we talk about health. Today, we are talking about Identity Fridays on the Dr. Lay's channel. Go on YouTube and subscribe on that channel. Join our Telegram channel and use the contact that we provided, 0707-074722, to book your appointments with us. Remember, faithless, we are professionals, and we'll keep on doing this over and over. If it offends you, well done. Go fix yourself. If it makes sense to you, keep changing lives from people around you. Go and preach the gospel to other people. Let them get the information and let them get better. So today we had faithless and we had 𝗧𝗛. Bringing in identity problems. I hope that next time they can actually come in and request to be in, we can actually fix them. We don't judge you. We understand what is controlling you is beyond you. So therefore we forgive you and we overcome you. We'll see you again on Friday. Have a good evening and enjoy your weekend.